The governor of Russia's Belgorod Oblast, Vyacheslav Gladkov, declared a state of emergency, citing an extremely difficult and tense situation due to ongoing attack from Ukrainian forces. Gladkov reported extensive damage, including destroyed homes and civilian casualties, and announced that the regional emergency would be followed by a request for a federal state of emergency. Belgorod Oblast, which borders Ukraine's Kharkiv Oblast and is adjacent to Kursk, has been targeted by Ukrainian drones, resulting in a fire and structural damage to an apartment building in Shebekino. Despite the attacks, there have been no reported casualties from the drone strikes. This escalation follows a recent significant cross-border attack by Ukrainian forces into Kursk, where a state of emergency was declared last week. On the other side, the Ukrainian military currently controls 74 settlements in Russia's Kursk Oblast, President Volodymyr Zelensky said. Ukraine's cross-border incursion into neighboring Kursk Oblast began on August 6th, and by August 12th, Ukraine said it had control over 1,000 square kilometers of Russian territory. Ukraine's foreign ministry spokesperson Georgy Tykhy told reporters that, unlike Russia, Ukraine does not seek to seize territory, but wants to protect the lives of our people. Ukraine's incursion into Russia's Kursk Oblast aims to prevent Moscow from sending additional reinforcements to the front in Donbass and stop Russian cross-border strikes, Tykhy said. Since the beginning of this summer, Ukraine's Sumy Oblast has been targeted with over 2,000 strikes using multiple launch rocket systems, mortars, drones, 255 guided bombs, and more than 100 missiles, launched from Kursk Oblast, Tykhy said. Unfortunately, Ukraine does not have sufficient capabilities to carry out long-range strikes with the weapons it has to defend itself against this terror. Kursk Oblast covers just under 30,000 square kilometers, which is similar to the size of the U.S. state of Maryland or the German state of Brandenburg. Russia's regional authorities claimed that Ukraine is in control of 28 settlements in Kursk Oblast and alleged that the incursion was up to 12 kilometers deep along a 40-kilometer front. Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrsky said that Ukraine's armed forces advanced 3 kilometers and took control over another 40 square kilometers of Russian territory. Zelensky said he is constantly in touch with Syrsky about the situation in Kursk. Despite the difficult, intense battles, the advance of our forces in Kursk Oblast continues, Zelensky said. Humanitarian solutions for these territories are being established, Zelensky added. The UK government did not give Ukraine permission to use British Storm Shadow long-range missiles in Kyiv's incursion into Russia's Kursk Oblast, the Telegraph reported, citing an undisclosed British government source. There has been no change, the source reportedly told the Telegraph. Despite earlier declarations by former and current British officials, London has not yet allowed Ukraine to use its missiles with a range of up to 250 kilometers, 150 miles, to strike targets inside Russia. Kyiv has reportedly used Storm Shadow missiles against Russian positions in occupied Ukrainian territories, such as Crimea. The news comes shortly after President Volodymyr Zelensky said that he had tasked officials and diplomats to present a list of necessary actions to obtain permission from its partners to use long-range weapons to protect Ukraine's territory. Such permission could play a key role in the unprecedented incursion of Ukrainian troops launched into Kursk Oblast. Kyiv has refrained from providing details of the operation, such as a possible use of Western arms in the operation. A foreign ministry spokesperson said at a press conference attended by a Kyiv independent reporter that the incursion itself would be less necessary if Kyiv were allowed to fully utilize its long-range capabilities against Russia. If Ukraine could strike the enemy troops on their territory from where they threaten Ukraine, then Ukraine would be in a much better position to protect itself, spokesperson Georgy Tykhy said. In particular, it would be less necessary to use the Ukrainian defense forces outside of the Ukrainian borders, including Kursk Oblast. Russian media claimed that Ukraine has deployed U.S.-supplied Bradley and German-supplied Marder armored vehicles. The Kyiv Independent could not verify the claims. According to the Bundestag's Defense Committee chair Markus Faber, it would be completely legitimate if Ukraine deployed German-supplied hardware in Kursk Oblast, such as Leopard 2 tanks. In a statement issued to Politico, Germany's foreign ministry said that Ukraine has the right to self-defense enshrined in international law, adding that the principle of self-defense is not limited to its own territory. The U.S. said it has not changed its stance regarding Ukraine's use of American arms, but added that the incursion into Kursk Oblast is consistent with their policy. Responding to a question on the incursion and whether Ukraine can use U.S.-supplied weapons, Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh replied that the U.S. has supported Ukraine from the beginning to defend themselves against attacks that are coming across the border. Ukraine's operation in Russia's Kursk Oblast is yet to have an impact on the fighting in the direction of Toretsk in Donetsk Oblast, a spokesperson of the 32nd Separate Mechanized Brigade said. Russian forces continue to attack Toretsk, and battles have now reached the outskirts of the town, military spokesperson Alexander Bordyan told Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty. Russia continues to send sabotage groups and increase the frequency of airstrikes, he added. The statement comes the same day as Ukraine's foreign ministry said the cross-border operation in Kursk Oblast aims to divert Russian troops from Donetsk Oblast, among other goals. As for the ground attacks, yes, the intensity has dropped a bit. They did not decrease significantly, but they, Russian forces, are trying to compensate for this by increased strikes with guided aerial bombs, Bordyan said. The spokesperson also reported battles in the immediate proximity of Toretsk, specifically in the urban area of the Pivnichne-Zalizne agglomeration. Russia deploys small sabotage groups to infiltrate the Ukrainian army's rear, he said.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.